Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome to episode 31 of our Infitech 2 modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So if you recall, last episode we got our tree farm set up, we got our steam production started, got all of that running. Since then I've done a bit of work over there, not as much building as I'd hoped, mainly setting up the blast furnace, getting it moved over, made some aluminum, and got us the blast furnace up and running. So I'll cover that in just a second. One thing that I do really want to cover today is we're going to set up a way to generate oxygen over there, because we're going to need it for annealed copper as well as steel production. But the first thing that I want to do is I just got back from the Nether, and I was down there mining up sphalerite, because Jason had brought it to my attention that we can actually get our zinc clusters by just pumping in sphalerite into this, if you notice. And then with this, it doesn't seem to want to go in the pulverizer, but we can smelt it for 2. I mean, in the macerator. It's pretty much just smelt it or pulverize it. So, but we can produce the zinc clusters that way with the sphalerite, which sphalerite's only found in the Nether, and let me see, somewhere else here. I know it's with like sulfur right here, sulfur pyrite, sphalerite on the Nether, and then on Mars. So it did take me a while to find the sulfur and pyrite, but I'd found it prior. But if you recall, we needed that for our magic quest here for clustered. But to continue, we also need aluminum, which we've already done, but we also need iridium, platinum, palladium, thorium, and uranium-238. So quite a bit to that one. And I know that, not this book. I know that in here, platinum, thorium, they have some kind of, all three of these have some weird element that I haven't discovered as of yet. So we're not going to be able to do those just yet. But let's head on over. Let me grab a couple machines that we're going to need. I've been looking at how to make these like oxygen, and the best way that I can find is to produce the oxygen gas is using the distillery with an integrated circuit 2 and pumping air into it. I think that's probably the only way. I mean, there's some things that we can centrifuge to get it. Nothing reasonable to just have a production of oxygen going. In the electrolyzer there's some things here, but once again nothing really reasonable for us to use to produce it. So it does seem like we're going to have to set up the distillery and pump air into it. It's quite a bit of power. Oh, you know what? I didn't realize. Dang. Okay. So 128 EU for that. Okay. Give me 1 second. I didn't notice that, so I may have to think of something else here. Okay, welcome back. I think the way we're going to get the oxygen is just to do the yellow limonite, because we can get the dusts with that. And I think probably... how do we want to handle it? I'm thinking maybe through the ore washing plant and all. So we'll go ahead and get some of that macerating. Put it in there. And while that's going, we'll run over to the base, and I'll show you some of the changes that have been made. For one, we actually have that area chunk loaded now, because Jason brought up to me that the pack does have dimensional anchors, which those we can just use coal to power them, or charcoal in our case, any kind of like combustible fluid, solid. And so I've just got it hooked up to our charcoal production is how I've got this chunk loaded right now. So I didn't get as much building on this. I mainly got some more carpenter's block work up there done. It did take a while to get all of this set up. I was basically waiting on a lot of alloys since last episode. So we've got a bit of aluminum here, we've got a bit of stainless, and the way I've got this set up is, and which I actually put that there because I was going to set up the distillery, but then come to find out it takes 128 EU per tick, so that's always fun. But yeah, I just made a dimensional anchor here. They're not too hard to craft. Pulsating crystal iron plates and gold plates. So diamond dust with the pulsating iron, and not too bad. And it's also made in the autoclave, so that's another benefit of having that autoclave already made. And then I've just got that hooked into the charcoal line, just like the Steve's Cart stuff. And so it's feeding in there. And I'm doing a 7x7. It's not super fuel efficient, but that way it covers the full extent of our tree farm over here, as well as over there by the blast furnace, because I was running the blast furnace and that aluminum and stuff does take a while to run, so definitely wanted that chunk loaded. And I actually had to repair this. Well, I didn't have to. It got down to like 48, 47, something like that percent. So anything below 50%, you can just throw a diamond in there and get it repaired. And then back over here, I've got that one steam turbine that I had set up is just hooked in straight into the boiler here. And if you notice, we are totally capped out on steam. Everything's going good, and we're coming out still positive on creosote oil. And I brought those drums over and went ahead and emptied those as well. And then I've got two lines here, one there, and one's actually over on the back side there, feeding up into our steam turbine. It's not the most convenient getting around right now. I do apologize about that, but these are both feeding into this advanced steam turbine. And the reason I hooked in two of them is because when this is running, even two of them, two pressurized lines, won't keep it filled, so it will run out. And then I made some medium cadmium batteries here and got that hooking into the blast furnace. And I didn't upgrade these buses and the muffler and the input hatch. They're still LV. I tested it because I was worried about it. I tested it in a creative world first, and it didn't seem to really change anything. I imagine it affects like the input and output speeds or something, but when we're running MV power, it doesn't really seem to affect anything. So I don't mind that too much. And we got our aluminum and our stainless, so we'll run back over there. We're wanting to get into the annealed copper, because those are a lot better cables, because the standard copper for the MV wiring, you're going to lose 2 EU per block that it has to travel. If we pull it up here, yeah, for every meter you're going to lose 2 EU per volt, or 2 EUs, sorry. And the annealed copper, you're only going to lose 1. So it would be a nice upgrade. Plus, you know, some of the stuff, it seems like we're going to need annealed copper for that. But in order to make that, of course, we're going to need oxygen. So it takes a little bit to get into. Now, eventually, once we get that medium voltage distillery, we can just automate it. Because that's what I was originally planning on, was setting up a tank so that we could automate, you know, the production of that. But we'll have to wait on that for right now. So I'm going to get this stuff worked down. It'll take a minute to work it all the way down to just the dusts. So we'll have to wash it, because basically we're going to have to wash it, get it down to dust, and then run it through the, let's see, I want to say it's like the centrifuge, maybe? Yeah. 4 yellow limonite and 2 empty cells is going to get us 1 iron, 2 oxygen, and some of this hydrogen. So we could also make the hydrogen with just an empty cell and 10 things of air, but from what I can tell, it's probably not worth it because it takes a lot of air just to get 1 oxygen cell this way, whereas the distillery, once we get that set up, we can turn 100 air into 21 oxygen. So, I think it'll be worth waiting on that, I guess. Because honestly, steam-wise, we're not even touching that power, like, or the steam production. So, you know, that's kind of our goal, is to work up to that. So I'll be back in just a minute once we get some of this worked up. Okay, welcome back. So I got that dust. I got a little bit of it, at least to get us started so we can kind of check out how this is going to work. So we'll grab some empty cells here, because you can pump in the oxygen. From what I understand, you can just pump it in, or you can use the cells. It really doesn't matter. You know, eventually we'll want it pumped in, but for now, using the cells is going to be fine. So we wanted it in the centrifuge. Yeah. Okay. And then this is going to produce, I still got all that in there. Alright. Gone. So this is going to produce, oh, there's that stuff. I'll tell you what we could do. Yeah, so what I think we're going to do, I'm going to run over and I'm going to get those drums, because they're emptied out now, and I'm going to come back, bring those drums with me. That way we can, use those drums to store some of these liquids that we're building up a lot of, because those fluid tanks don't really hold as much as we'd like, especially for something that we're going to be making a lot of, because I imagine hydrogen is going to be something that we're going to be producing quite a bit of as we, you know, get air to make steel and copper and stuff. So I'm not sure how much oxygen that annealed copper is going to take. I don't know if we'll be able to make multiples with just 1 oxygen tank or not, but we'll find out. So I'll be back in just a second. Oh, by the way, you'll actually notice right over here is where a creeper exploded, but I was out. I've been killing endermen. I just killed one actually and got 2 ender pearls. This sword is wonderful, by the way, for the looting effect on it. But out there was actually a pack of like 3 endermen roaming about, and it was nighttime, so of course there's creepers. 1 creeper blew up, but that is okay. I've been grinding up a lot of ender pearls. You know, we've actually got all that air there, but I don't really want to do the air method right now. So we'll set this up and have it. Where's my wrench at? Okay. We'll set this up to hopefully pump out the mercury. There we go. So we'll just store that in there for now. Because drums are going to hold a lot more than those fluid tanks will. They're limited to, what, 16 buckets? Yeah, 16 buckets. Whereas these drums are going to hold 256 buckets. So, alright. So we'll grab that. Alright. And this yellow limonite's really not all that uncommon to come across. At least in my experience. So we'll just store our hydrogen in there, and that gives us a couple oxygen cells. And then the copper, I've just got dust everywhere. I don't know if you guys realize, just piles of dust. But you'll notice I'm up to 14 ender pearls now. course, I made it a priority to kind of watch the map, especially around nighttime, for Enderman. So I've been killing a bunch of those because I did use some Ender Pearls making like the pressurized fluid conduits. We had to get vibrant alloys for that. I had to make, I think, 2 vibrant alloys because it's just 1 nugget per 2 pipes. So and I'd use some for what, the item conduits, I think it was. Yeah, for the pulsating iron. So alright, so we got our oxygen sails. So if we just grab some copper, and we'll go over here and get some annealed copper made, because we actually have a quest here to make 10 of the annealed copper cables, which is kind of what we're working up towards. I've had those blast furnaces just producing steel right now because any oxygen that we do get here at first I want to use on the annealed copper, I imagine, and then later on, once we have it kind of the oxygen and stuff automated, you know, we'll make our steel that way. So but I don't mind the use of charcoal. It does take a lot of fuel to make the steel. However, you know, charcoal's not really an issue right now. And I'm not in any rush to set up the solid fueled boiler because, I mean, right as it stands right now, we can't even use up all the steam that we're producing. So there's really no reason to rush into making another power source right now. Oh wait, where am I going? We need to put this in the blast furnace. So I want to start getting this area fleshed out and the area above us fleshed out. Oh, there's Enderman right over here. Let me go murder him, I think. Always so many creepers. Oh no! 2 wither witches. Fuck that. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. We'll just look at the Enderman. Maybe he'll come. There we go. He's up there somewhere. What the fuck? Where'd you go, buddy? There we go. Oh, nice. We got an Enderman head, too. And a couple more Ender Pearls. Didn't we? Didn't he drop 2? Did I not pick him up? Oh, no. Okay. I've actually gotten up to 3 before. I'm out of food. Crap. That's fine. Sorry about that little detour there. So we'll just throw our oxygen cells into here, and it's going to input the liquid. And then if we throw our copper in here, which is fairly fast. Oops, not in there. Right in here. Because I want to see how much... I could have looked, I guess, in any eye, but we'll see how much oxygen this actually takes. This takes longer than I thought it did. Let's see. I thought it was fairly fast. I may be just confusing it with the steel. Okay, it takes 25 seconds. And it takes, oh wow, 1,000 oxygen per piece. Oh. That's a little bit expensive. But that's okay. So I'm going to get this stuff made up. Then we'll go over and we'll get ourselves some annealed copper cables. Let me actually cut camera for a bit. I'm going to get a bit more oxygen cells. It's really not too bad to make because we can get a bit of that, a bit of oxygen from just a little bit of the limonite. So where are you going? But anyway, I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, welcome back. So we've got 5 annealed copper now, so then we'll just run it through the wire mill here. And I really want to start getting things sorted so bad. I've just got like machine parts and stuff just piling up everywhere. So, and then ores and dust. I have just tons of those. But I went ahead and started melting down some rubber here. So we've got a bit of molten rubber. And we'll actually go ahead and grab that drum. And let's just set it up. Let's set it up there. Can we get these? Oh, we can't. Okay. I just want a little bit of this rubber. That's one thing I don't like, at least at the moment, is there's no way, like if I was to start pumping this in, there's no way to gauge how much is going to go in here, like say this molten rubber, and there's really no way that I know of to get it out of the machine once we're done with it. Like I just had to trash a bunch of molten tin because couldn't really do anything with it. I mean, I know we can use the plunger, but it's really the same exact thing as just breaking the machine. Unless I'm missing something, which is possible, but I guess that's going to be the best way that we can handle it. That's more than I wanted to put in there, but okay. Well, we'll give this a shot. And then we're going to need the integrated circuit. Which one is it? 24, I think. Well, like I said, I might be missing something, and maybe there's a way to limit, 24, the amount of liquid, or a way to get it out. I know, like before when I used the plunger, it just like deleted the liquid, which isn't really, I mean, at that point I might as well use the wrench, just break it if I want it out of there. The only thing that I really use the plunger on, since it has such low durability, is on the like the fluid tanks and stuff like that. So we'll get that cooking up. Another thing that I was thinking about doing is let's go ahead and make our electric wrench, because I don't really want to have to make more wrenches. And you know, we've got some stainless on hand. We're in a pretty good situation, I think, to make this. We'll need some batteries, which I know I've got. Batteries, oh, they're downstairs from the old blast furnace setup that we had. Okay, so we'll just grab a cadmium battery. Sounds good. I did notice that like this drill and this chainsaw, they do take a very minute amount of durability damage, and it's not every single block that you break. It's like, I want to say it's just like a chance, because like sometimes I'll break a lot of blocks and won't notice it go down at all. Other times I'll break a couple. If you notice, like this one's went down 7,000 durability, like since I've had it, and I've done a lot of mining. Chainsaw I haven't even actually really hardly used. I think I chopped down like 1 or 2 trees and didn't do anything to it. But because especially now carpenter's blocks just make them out of oak, because we've got a ton of oak. So we need a couple stainless steel plates, some stainless gears, which are 4 stainless plates in total. Stainless steel screw. I think we've actually got we got stainless steel bolts. It's pretty much the same thing. And then what we put these through is it a lathe? Yeah. So we'll put that through the lathe. Open. Okay. There we go. So there's that. We'll get these stainless plates being made. And then we're just going to need a wrench head. Yeah, wrench tip. and then this LV motor, which I'm pretty sure we've probably got some of those on hand. So we'll need, I don't know if we really want to make it out of bronze. Let's see, because I'm pretty sure we can just, yeah, we can just make it out of pretty much anything. We'll need a steel ring and a couple steel screws, which, do we have that stuff by chance? Oh, we don't even have an LV motor on hand, do we? No, so I'll have to make one of those. That's fine. It's not really an issue. I think I've got the recipe in here. Yeah. Okay. So I'll start getting that prepped in just a second, but our one stuff should be done now. Actually, I think I've got everything that we need for this. It's what, I believe that's iron rods, right? Okay, and we've got our plates, and we've got a full inventory again. And that, and that, that, and that, that. Okay. So our annealed copper cable is done, so we can turn that quest in anyway. Or no, we can't. We've already made a transformer, and I've already made those. I've noticed sometimes when I make things, if I use it, then it doesn't give me credit for that. But if I don't use it, then it does give me credit for it. I don't know. Because we've had that that happen before. I can't remember what it was we were making. It was a few episodes back. How was it? Was it like aluminum or something like that? I made a bunch of it and then used it, and then we got a quest for it or something. I can't recall. Oh, it was the what, the battery? One of the, I think the cadmium battery, actually. Because we made it, and then, like, we made it there on camera, and then made something, I think the tool with it or something, and then we couldn't turn it in. I had to make it again. So we'll need the steel ring, steel screws, and then plates. So we'll go ahead. I guess we'll get this going. In there, and then put these through the lathe, I think. Oh no, we shouldn't put those through the lathe. Okay, let me take a look here. To make the screws, we need the bolts. Oh, okay, they're from the rods. Okay. That's how we'll want to make them. Like, once we get to that point, because we can make 8 for 1. It's really, really nice. The cutting saw, okay. So we'll put this through. I've got a cutting saw. Is it over here? No. Where is our cutting saw set up at? Oh, right here. Just right there. Okay. And got that. Now to make our steel ring, I can't remember if there's a better way to do that. Just hammer it. Okay, well eventually, but takes 96 EU per tick. So we're actually going to need another one of these. I was thinking it was a plate for some reason. Those rings, we don't use those as much as some of the other stuff, I think. Okay. And then we're also going to want to convert these into the gears. 2 of these. And honestly, these tools, after this one, I'll probably make the rest of them just off camera, because they're all pretty much the same thing after this point, I'd say. Okay, we'll want 2 of those, I think. Okay. And then what kind of metal, I don't know what kind of metal we want to use for this. Not steel leaf, we're about out of steel leaf. I honestly we might just use steel. I would think that would be alright. Because if it's like the other electric tools, I mean, the durability doesn't go down fast enough to really matter that much. In my experience with it, anyway. So we'll lay that out. That. Then what was it? The hammer and screwdriver? Oh. Okay. Try this again. That. And let me do that. 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 Okay, screwdriver. And there we go. We got ourselves an LV wrench now. Which will definitely come in handy because, I mean, this one's about to break. This one's going to last a lot longer for us. And then... Oh, we should have... Yeah, we've got the battery alloy plates. Now, to make the battery hull, the medium battery hull, you just take... I believe it's just standard copper cable on the top, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Now, you can do annealed copper, but... You know, we might as well just use... Oh, am I out of copper cable? No. Okay. No, I thought I had some around here somewhere, but I've got such a mess of stuff. I know sometimes I make extra, but it is what it is, I guess. And then that completes that quest. And we'll take the material bag. So we got lead, steel. Yeah, it looks like just lead and steel. It's got a bit of steel though, so... Okay. That at least finishes out that quest. I know we've still got to make, for the tools, we still have to make a buzzsaw and then a screwdriver. So, what is this? Silicon Valley. We've got silicon dust. Oh, but only 6 of it, okay. And oil drilling rig. Oh. Now this could be nice. This is steel frame boxes. I think we've made those before, actually. And then MV electric motors, MV machine hull, good electronic circuit. Oh. And, okay, copper, any kind of copper cables, 2 times copper wires, magnetic steel, and then aluminum rods. Not too bad. Not too bad. And then we need 8 of these solid machine casings. Oh man, it's going to be a lot of steel. So I'll tell you what, I actually think I'm going to end the episode there. Between this episode and next, I'll go ahead and get that other 4 silicon that we need. Because we've made that before on camera. And I'll start... Honestly, I don't know if I have the steel right now to even do this stuff. But I can make steel, because now we've got some oxygen coming in. And fairly soon, maybe automate that. We'll see. Because like I said, once we get a MV distillery, I don't think it's going to be an issue. So, and then I'll go ahead and get these 2 made, because like I said, they're really, I can't pull them up right there. They're really like the same thing. see, whereabouts? Okay. But yeah, see, it's just electric motor, stainless, it's all the exact same stuff except you make the buzz saw, which is just like that. And then for the screwdriver, it's pretty much the exact same thing, except you just put a screwdriver at the top. So I'm kind of curious to see if we can use a damaged one for that. I'm not for sure on that. And then your material goes here, so. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to end the episode there. I know the oil we can use. I imagine this is running the pneumatic craft that uses the oil. I'm fairly certain. Yeah. So we'll have to set up the oil distillery. We might, I don't know if we can do that just yet. The compressed iron, I don't know if you blow it up in X.A.T.C. Okay, to get this compressed iron. Because in standard pneumatic craft you use the TNT to do it. Iron, yeah, but I mean initially to get the pressure chamber. I don't know, I'll look into that and maybe do some testing in the test world and see, you know, if that's how we do it in this pack or not. If it, because normally you just blow it up, blow up a bunch of iron with TNT, but I don't know, I feel like some of the aspects of pneumatic craft are HV things, so I don't know if it's a good time to get into it. We'll need, okay, that stuff's actually not that bad. I'm sure that is. Pneumatic hulls, pressure tubes. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, at least the initial stuff. And I don't know about like the printed circuit boards and stuff, but I'll look into that in a test world, and we might start getting into that. I doubt we're going to be able to get into all the good stuff like drones and stuff very soon, but we might look into that. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I think I'll end the episode out there. Next episode, I think we'll continue with tech. We're kind of sticking with that until we can get up to the titanium, which I think it might be possible at the moment to kind of slide into titanium. But I think it's still kind of a little bit of a stretch until we get a bit more into MV, I think, if I recall. I remember looking through all this and it seemed like we need to be a little ways into MV, have some MV machines and stuff, so yeah. But anyway, we'll get into that as soon as we can and get back into Thaumcraft. So, but sorry about rambling. Anyway, if you enjoyed the episode, as always, please comment, like, subscribe. It's very, very much appreciated. And until next episode, do take care, and I hope to see you then.